moment of pleasure, then we come to the point, what is such a mind? I think it would be worthwhile if we could discuss the nature of hurt.
Of hurt? Yes.
Why human beings are hurt. All people are hurt.
You mean at both the physical and the psychological?
Psychological, especially.
Especially the psychological level, yes. Mm-hmm.
Physically, we can tolerate it.
Yes.
We can bear up with a pain and say, well, I won't let it interfere with my thinking. I won't let it corrode my psychological quality of mind. I can watch over it. Mind can watch over that. But the psychological hurts are much more important and difficult to grapple with and understand.
Yes, yes, yes.
I think it is necessary because a mind that is hurt is not an innocent mind.
Mm-hmm.
The very word innocent comes from nuocere, not to hurt. A mind that is incapable of being hurt. And there is a great beauty in that.
Yes, there is. Mm-hmm. It's a marvelous it's a marvelous word. We have usually used it to indicate a lack of something.
I know.
Yes, and there was turned on upside down again.
And
yes.
Christians have made it such an absurd thing of it.
Yes, I understand that.
So, I think we ought to, in discussing religion, we ought to inquire very, very deeply the nature of hurt. Because if a mind that is not hurt is an innocent mind, and you need this quality of innocency to be so totally attentive.
If I've been following you correctly, I think maybe you would say, wouldn't you, that one becomes hurt when he starts thinking about thinking that he's hurt.
Look, it's much deeper than that, isn't it? From childhood, the parents compare the child with another child.
But that's when that thought arises.
There it is. When you compare, you are hurting.
Yes.
No, we say, but we do it.
Oh, yes, of course we do it.
Therefore, is it possible to live an educated child without comparison, without imitation, and therefore never get hurt in that way? And one is hurt because one has built an image about oneself. The image which has built about oneself is a form of resistance. A wall between you and me. And when you touch that wall at its tender point, I get hurt. So, not to compare in education, not to have an image about oneself. That's one of the most important things in life, not to have an image about oneself. If you have, you're inevitably going to be hurt. Suppose one has an image that one is very good, or that one should be a great success, or that one has great capacities, gifts, and the images that one builds. Inevitably, you're going to come and prick it. Inevitably, accidents and incidents happen that's going to break that. And one gets hurt.
Doesn't this raise the question of name, the use of name?
Name, form.
The child is given a name. The child identifies himself with a name.
Yes, I can identify, the child can identify itself, but without the image, just a name. Brown. Mr. Brown. There is nothing to it. But the moment he builds an image that Mr. Brown is socially, morally different, superior or inferior, ancient, or comes from a very old family, belongs to a certain higher class, aristocracy. Moment that begins, and when that is encouraged and sustained by thought, snobism, hold up, then you are inevitably going to be hurt.
Then what you're saying, I take it, is that the radical confusion here is involved in the imagining oneself to be his name.
Yes,
and all
identification with the name, with the body, with the idea of socially different. That your parents, your grandparents were lords or this or that, the whole snobism of England and all that. And different kind of snobism in this country.
We speak in the language of preserving a name.
Yeah. And in India it is the Brahmin, the non-Brahmin, the whole business of that. So, through education, through tradition, through propaganda, we have built an image about ourselves.
Is there a relation here in terms of religion, would you say, to the refusal, for instance, in the Hebraic tradition, to pronounce the name of God?
The name. The word is not the thing anyhow.
Yes.
So you can pronounce it or not pronounce it. No, if you know the word is never the thing, the description is never the described, then it doesn't matter.
No, well, one of the reasons I've always been, over the years, deeply drawn to the study of the roots of words is simply because, for the most part, they point to something very concrete. It's either a thing,
yes,
or it's a gesture. More often than not, it's some act.
Quite.
Some act. When I used the phrase thinking about thinking before, I should have been more careful of my words and referred to mulling over the image, which would have been a much better way to put it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Can a child be educated never to get hurt? And I have heard professors, scholars say, child must be hurt in order to live in the world. And when I asked him, do you want your child to be hurt? He kept absolutely quiet. He was just talking theoretically. Now, unfortunately, through education, through social structure and the nature of our society in which we live, we have been hurt. We have images about ourselves which are going to be hurt. And is it possible not to create images at all? I don't know if I'm making myself...
You are.
That is, suppose I have an image about myself, which I have, unfortunately. If I have an image, is it possible to wipe it away, to understand it and therefore dissolve it, and never to create a new image about myself? You understand? Living in a society, being educated, I have built an image, inevitably. Now, can that image be wiped away?
Wouldn't it disappear with this complete act of attention?
That's what I'm coming to gradually. It would totally disappear. But I must understand how this image is born. I can't just say, well, I'll wipe it out.
Yes, we have